Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hariba 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 Nitai Gaur Hariba Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Stautra Sata Shishima Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Ti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachadishatarane Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we're doing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita study today. This is Srila Prabhupada's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Gosvāmī, Adi Leela. The external reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. It's text 8. Yeah? Okay. Ekāttara catur-yuge eka manv-antara caudda manv-antara brahmāra divasa bhitara ekāttara catur-yuge eka manv-antara caudda manv-antara brahmāra divasa bhitara ekāttara catur-yuge eka manv-antara caudda manv-antara brahmāra divasa bhitara. Manv-antara catur-yuge eka manv-antara Mataji's. Catur-yuge eka manv-antara ekāttara 71 catur-yuge in cycles of 4 ages. Eka, 1. Manu-antara, period of a manu. Caudda, 14. Manu-antara, periods of manu. Brahmāra, of Lord Brahmā. Divasa, a day. Bhitara, within. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda, Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. 71 divya-yugas constitute one manv-antara. There are 14 manv-antaras in one day of Brahma. Srila Prabhupada's purport. A manv-antara is the period controlled by one manu. The reign of 14 manus equals the length of one day, 12 hours, in the life of Brahma, and the night of Brahma is of the same duration. These calculations are given in the authentic astronomy book known as Sūrya-siddhānta. A Bengali translation of this book was compiled by the great professor of astronomy and mathematics, Bimal Prasād Datta, later known as Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī, who is our merciful spiritual master. He was honored with the title Siddhānta Sarasvatī for his translating the Sūrya-siddhānta, and the title Gosvāmī Mahārāja was added when he accepted sannyāsa, the renounced order of life. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurimilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. So Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki. So the teachings of Chaitanya Charitamrita are non-different than Bhagavad Gita. Krishna appears, there's further descriptions, once in a day of Lord Brahmā, and the duration of that is from the beginning of Brahma's day is 4,320,000,000 years, and 6 manus appear and disappear. And there's descriptions how 1,975,320,000 years of the day of Brahma elapsed from the appearance of Lord Krishna. This is an astronomical calculation according to solar years. So we may think, why does Krishna wait such a long time? One day of Brahma. It's only one day of Brahma. But that one day of Brahma, according to our earthly calculations, it's an enormous time span. And when we see how limited is our life, 100 years, maybe for those little bugs that attack the lights at night, they might live only for a short while, a few hours, and they go through their whole lifespan. Certain living entities have different durations of life. But the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are specifically meant to awaken all of us to take up the process of devotional service. Because Advaita Acharya, who is Mahavishnu, God himself, he was feeling great anxiety and disturbed by the fact that people are missing the opportunity of the human form of life. They're directing all their energy, all their time to let me find a nice mate, get married, and work very hard so I can get lots of money and become happy in this world, neglecting the inevitable truth and reality of janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha, doshandu, darshanam. Because of this daivihesha gunamayi mamamaya daratyaya, this divine energy of Krishna is very difficult to overcome. Because we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. Krishna created the whole material universe. Not only one universe, unlimited universes. They say, a bag full of mustard seeds, that little tiny mustard seed, bag full, unlimited universes. Within each universe is unlimited planets, unlimited living entities, from gods down to microbic germs, ants. So people who are not following religious teachings, meaning in Kali Yuga there is no real religion other than the Harinam Sankirtan. Hallowed be thy name, or chanting the Lord's holy name is the only real solution to awaken our forgetfulness. It's like being bitten by a snake and becoming delusioned and not understanding the reality. One time coming back from our trip to India, made a mistake of flying Aeroflot, and somehow I got food poisoning. And I just remember that I couldn't function, couldn't do anything. Had to surrender to my wife. She had to take control of driving and everything. But this is our condition. We're bitten by the illusion of thinking there's some happiness in this material world, and that if I only work really hard, because I'm more intelligent than most other people, and I have so much capability that I can create a oasis, a paradise. Everyone's looking for that fountain of youth, how I can live forever. I can spend millions of dollars in creams and lotions so my face doesn't wrinkle as quickly, but ultimately we're all going to look like that, wrinkled turtle and frog, you can't help it. This is the nature of time that's wearing away all of us. So here describing the time element, how the Lord appears in different incarnations for different purposes, to satisfy or to bring again the conditioned, lost, bewildered, conditioned souls back to the path of eternal spiritual life, because the body can be killed and the body will be finished, but the spirit soul is eternal, and we are the spirit soul. It's not we're separate from the spirit soul, because how do we know we have a spirit soul? The consciousness is all pervading, isn't it? Sometimes you may sit in the wrong way and your leg falls asleep, you get up and you can't even walk. Your leg doesn't function because the consciousness is not there. Or somebody may even become paralyzed and nothing you can do. So Krishna is providing each and every one of us with guidance. Sarvasya chahang hridisana vishto matat smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna is in our heart and He's guiding us, but not forcibly. Out of love, the parent's not going to force. In the early days, Prabhupada was asking some of the early devotees on 2nd Avenue that, well, maybe you can shave your head and wear tilak. I said, Prabhupada, do you want me to do that? He goes, no, I don't force you to do anything, only if you want to do. So the Guru is giving guidance, Krishna is giving guidance, but ultimately we have to voluntarily accept that, yes, I can see that this is something I need to do, I want to do. I just read something which is really nice, so I thought that just a few minutes. Wants to see my face here. Doesn't recognize me, my own phone. Okay, a pure devotee is a soul who is forever surrendered to the Lord, just as a child is surrendered to his parents, or an animal to its master. In the surrendering process, one should, 1, accept things favorable for discharging devotional service. 2, reject things unfavorable. 3, always believe firmly in the Lord's protection. 4, feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. 5, have no interest separate from the interest of the Lord. 6, always feel oneself meek and humble. So these are devotional principles that devotee feels protected by the Lord and guided by the Lord. Even though there is so much struggle, Prabhupada underwent so much struggle. When Kunti Devi, I think we're getting to that part, when even when they went to Kurukshetra, all the Vrishnis and the Brajabasis came there, and we had Mother Kunti was telling Vasudeva, her brother, "Oh, you've forgotten us. We were so troubled." And Vasudeva said, "What we can do?" Kamsa was such a terror that we all scattered every which direction. We had no way of communicating. And this feeling was there from the Brijabasis that, I forgot the point of that one, but the idea that Krishna's protecting, Krishna's guiding, Krishna's giving us so much shelter. And even though the Pandavas were struggling and all the all the friends and relatives of Krishna had to undergo so much struggle, that shows us that everyone is struggling in this material world. You know, someone may seem to be, oh, well, he's driving a Mercedes-Benz and he's got the newest fashions and best clothes, and look at the fancy phone he has, and so many wonderful gadgets to enjoy life. But this is all karmana daiva nitrena. Just to have a human form of life is a sign that something pious happened in your life. Or, you know, you may have burned off all your animalistic bad karma, and now you have a human form of life. And the human life is, how are we different than the animals? We're called rational animals. We can actually inquire, who is God? Who am I? What is my relationship with God? Why am I forced to get old, get diseased, and die? So Advaita Acharya was feeling, according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, that people are suffering and struggling, even though Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago and spoke the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajam Mamekang Sharanang Vraja Ahang Tvang Sarva Papayabhyo Mokshe Shyami Masuchaha Satatang Kirtayantamang Yatanta Chadridavrita. Always chant my glories. Surrender to me. I will protect you. I will free you from sinful reactions. So this is actually the best proposal for all of us. And it's not that we have to figure out, well, how do we do that? How do I surrender? Krishna's telling, think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your prayers to me. Whatever you do it as an offering to me. So that's chatur varnyang maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. We're all born in the human form of life. One goes through, for the males, brahmachari, and then vanaprastha. Almost everybody gets married because we're having a struggle with the mind and senses. And we're thinking this will maybe make things more balanced. And there's no real impetus for economic development without the family unit. It's like, if you had no responsibility, I got to take care of my children, I got to take care of my wife, I need a place of comfort, I need to provide for everybody, so I got to go out and work. We're not against work. Prabhupada worked more than anyone. Devotees are working harder than most, but our purpose is different. A materialist is thinking, if I work hard, I can become happy by exploiting Mother Nature, by getting more gold and more silver and you know, all the possessions that make us happy and satisfied. But this is like going from a third-class prisoner to a first-class prisoner. You're still in the grip of Maya. We're still in the prison. We're still going to suffer. They may hide, but disease and death is very fearful. People are very fearful. Especially in Vrindavan, we see many devotees and others. When they leave, on the verge of leaving the body, we're sometimes around for hours and seeing that this is not natural. We're meant to live eternally, but we're encaged, we're embodied. This is our vehicle. This vehicle, this body, is meant for a purpose. Usually a vehicle takes you from one place to another. If you want to, you know, go to some place in the car, you get in the vehicle and it takes you to your destination. So the body is meant to achieve something. And Advaita Acharya thought, we need to again awaken the process of self-realization, the process of devotional service. And although Advaita Acharya could himself perform the act, he wanted to propitiate or invite Chaitanya, Krishna himself, in the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So with the tulsi leaf and Ganges water, he's offering to the Lord. And the Lord, he says, Patrang pushpang palang tayong yome bhaktya prayashati. If you do with devotion an offering of tulsi and water, Krishna feels obligated. So before Krishna appears, he sends Advaita Acharya, Sachi Mata, Jagannath Mishra, his teacher, his associates, all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna himself. When Krishna came to Braja, Vrindavan, all the Brijabasis, they're all coming from the spiritual world, and many were great yogis and mystics who were destined to come and perform intimate pastimes, dasya, sakya, vatsalya, madhurya, this of servitude. This is a general relationship. We're all servants, servants of Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Savakarna Karanam. He's the cause of all causes, the Supreme Lord. And we're Gopi Bharatu Padala Kamayor Dasa Das Das Anu Das. We are servants of the Lord. Everybody is a servant. Even the so-called presidents and ministers of big countries and nations, they're serving. Vote for me, and I will provide this for you, and I will do that for you. So everyone is serving to one capacity or other. There's no lack of things to do, and the only lack is lacking Krishna consciousness. So Advaita Acharya, by his prayers, and it was time, according to the end of the different divya-yugas and manv-antaras, there are so much length is going, more detail is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Puranas, in the Mahabharata. Everyone recognizes Krishna as the Supreme Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, is non-different than Krishna. He's Krishna himself. Lord Nityananda is Balaram. And the Panca Tattva are all coming together. This is their weapons. What is their weapons? Harinama, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalu, Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata. The Lord's chanting of the holy name. Krishna, Varnam, Trisha, Krishnam, Sangastro, Parshadam, Jagnai, Santutan, Vayar, Yajantihi, Sumeda, Saha. This Krishna Varnam, Lord Krishna appears not in blackish, but in a golden, yellow color. Lord Chaitanya, he's a golden, yellow color. And he's Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Goratvashe Namaha. He's very kind, very merciful. Naturally, a father is very kind and merciful, isn't it? Should be. But nowadays they kill the baby in the womb. They have no regard. But Krishna is very kind, and he's always taking care of his devotees. I just finished, I read a little bit about Lord Brahmā and how his childhood friendship with Sudama, although Sudama was very poor, very, very skinny, and they had nothing practically, and the Lord was just so happy to see Sudama Brahmana embracing him and washing his feet and talking and remembering how they were serving their guru together. And he had great love, and although Sudama Brahmana was assigned by his wife to go and ask some kind of help from Krishna because they were so poor, Sudama was totally happy just being with Krishna. And Krishna also understanding everyone. He said, so you brought something for me? And Sudama had nothing, so the neighbors, he got some chip rice, and he forcibly took this chip rice and ate a mouthful, and he was going to take some more chip rice, but Rukmini said, no, no, no. That very mouthful will satisfy the whole universe. So, small offering. Krishna, wants our love and friendship. Not that he wants, but he expands himself unlimitedly. This is God. He has unlimited, in the spiritual world, unlimited spiritual beings, which are nitya siddhas, unlimited spiritual worlds, which are full of loving devotees, either as dasya or sakya, as friends, vatsalya, parental relationship. There's a special relationship with the mother and the baby and the father, and the baby feels so much attachment, the mother feels so much attachment. And this is originally coming from Krishna. Even when Krishna was older, when at Kurukshetra, they were grown, but still, Nanda and Yashoda, when they came there, they took them privately and treated them like little boys. So you can't get away from that. Isn't it? Even if 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, your parents are still alive, they still tell you, now, make sure that you're taking care of this and be healthy and do whatever you're supposed to do for your well-being. So he's reciprocating with everyone. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared with his associates, and he's calling Jeev Jago, Gauda Chandra Bole, that wake up, sleeping souls. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? Take this Harinam Sankirtan, chant the holy name. There's no like Hinduism or Christianity or Buddhism, and many, many philosophies and teachings are there, whether God is one, impersonal light. This is why Lord Chaitanya's Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, simultaneously one and different, that we are one with the Lord. We're Satchidananda Vigraha, we're eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss, all of us. We're little samples of Krishna, but we have our independence. We have this is Krishna's greatness. He doesn't make just simply some robotic prototypes. No, even his avatars. There's many places where it says when, Lord Balaram wanted to marry Subhadra to Duryodhana, but Krishna wanted Arjuna to marry Subhadra. But because the older brother Balaram wanted it, Krishna didn't want to say anything. Here's God, the Supreme Lord, but Balaram's also God. Radharani is also God. So we start thinking, how does that all work? It's Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. It's inconceivable because the Lord can expand himself as Mahavishnu, as Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu. He can create unlimited universes from his breathing, from the pores of his body. Then he can enter each and every universe and produce Lord Brahmā and all the planets and all the different elements required for universal governing. And then a Kshirodakshay Vishnu enters every atom, enters the heart, and gives guidance and supplies everyone with direction. And we're thinking, I'm independent, there's no God. And that's ignorance and foolishness. How one can think that this wonderful, huge manifestation and how the generations of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions and hundreds of millions and billions of years are going by, and how the Lord just breathing, exhaling, all the planets, all the universes are emanating. And then when he inhales, everything again is drawn in. In Brahma's one day, we're hearing what a huge lifespan he has. So we may think in our limited, they call it frog-like mentality, because a frog is living in a little well, 5 foot diameter, maybe 6 foot, I don't know how big they are. And when a friend says, I just came back from the Pacific Ocean, how big is it? Oh, it's very big. Is it twice the size of my well? Maybe 3 times the size of my well. No, it's very, very big, Pacific Ocean. So we have this very limited mentality and understanding. How great is God? How great is Krishna? And Srila Prabhupada, miraculously, almost unbelievably, how he showed being born in a Brahmin, in a Vaishnava family, and his father would arrange, because he wanted deity worship, he wanted Rath Yatra. So all the neighbors say, you're having Rath Yatra, you're not inviting us? He goes, no, it's only child's play. Oh yeah, child's play. You're trying to ignore us just by saying it's child's play. So Prabhupada showed the perfect example. Also he studied nicely. He had performed many duties, but always thinking of Krishna, always preaching Krishna consciousness, and took the order of his spiritual master to heart. So it's not that Prabhupada just happened to appear. Again, Krishna sending, isn't it? The devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Goswamis, Sanatan, Rupa Goswami were ministers, highly educated, respected, but they renounced everything, rich aristocracy, so-called reputation, to scrutinizingly study all the scriptures, because what is a devotee? He's the tikshava karunika, suhrida sarvadehanam, ajata shatrava santa, sadhava sadhabhushana. A sadhu is very tolerant, he's very merciful, he's kind to all living beings. Just like Advaita Acharya, out of kindness and out of compassion, he's calling, Lord, come and awaken these fallen souls who are suffering and struggling with the mind and senses. Anybody not struggling with the mind and senses? The senses are always looking for satisfaction, and the mind is orchestrating, taking some from the intelligence, how to execute that. I'll be happy. I just have to make the proper arrangements. The only way we can really become happy is to awaken our eternal existence, our spiritual existence. Just like when you put a glove on, the glove takes shape of the hand. So we have a spiritual body. You might think, well, maybe I want my body to be something different than this. Yes, but we have a spiritual body, and it's formed according to our relationship with Krishna. And we have an eternal relationship with Krishna. But now we're like disconnected, we're in the shadow, we left the light, like the owl. He won't open his eyes to see the sunshine, doesn't know what the sunshine brilliance is. And so we're also becoming blinded by the desire to try to live separately from Krishna. We've forgotten Krishna. And the whole idea, the whole purpose behind the Guru Parampara, Evang Parampara Praptang Emang Rajarshayo Vidhu, the great kings, the leaders of society, were taking Vedic literature and guiding all the citizens, guiding everyone so they can better themselves, awaken their spiritual life and go back home, back to the kingdom of God. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there's a list of all the great acharyas, unlimited acharyas, even they say Mohammed, Lord Jesus. These are Shakti-avesh avatar we heard this morning, how those who are empowered to spread the glories of the Lord, they're empowered by the Lord. And one can't just manufacture. One is representing. I think it was, well, one devotee asked, Prabhupada, do you mean to say that the spiritual master is God? I said, no, he's not God. He's a representative of God, carrying out He is God in the sense that He can give you God by following His direction. So the spiritual master, he's a representative of the Lord. And what makes a spiritual master is one who's glorifying Krishna, who understands the Vedaischa Sarvaya Aham Eva Vedya, Vedanta Krit Vedavid Eva Chaham. Krishna says, I'm the compiler of Vedanta. Srila Vyasadeva, Narada Muni, the whole Guru Parampara, they're empowered representative of the Lord. And Prabhupada, for the next 10,000 years, these transcendental books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada doesn't take credit for himself. He's reading, Shruta Kirti will tell you, he's reading his own books. He's happy to read Krishna book, wants to hear Krishna book. And I see a picture of Shruta when he was really young and handsome back then. He's in the room with Prabhupada at some library, and Prabhupada looking at the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and just really appreciating the Lord speaking, empowering Prabhupada to give us a message for our understanding. Prabhupada could not understand why Krishna sent him to, of all places, America, Boston, New York. You see the skyline, everything's so, people are so immersed in illicit sex, intoxication, slaughtering the animals, gambling, prostitution, just looking for happiness, disregarding all religious principles. So Kali Yuga is only getting started. We're only at the beginning, 5,000 some years of Kali Yuga, but it goes for 436,000 years. So we're in the very beginning. And the Lord appeared just at the end of Dwapara Yuga, Krishna and Balaram, and brought pure love of the gopis. The best love that one can experience is exhibited by the way gopis love, because they had no material ambition or even spiritual ambition. They simply love Krishna with all their hearts. Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, and all the elderly gopis and gopas, they love Krishna. What to speak of the gopis' love and dedication? There's no life besides that. So Prabhupada, he underwent the struggle. Somehow he came. And one thing I found interesting is how he ended up in the Lower East Side of New York, 2nd Avenue, many may know. We have a place there, so I was there every day when I go on Sankirtan, book distribution key. Every day before going on book distribution, go around that famous tree in Tompkins Square Park where Prabhupada started the chanting 3 hours a day, and all the devotees were dancing. People were dancing and then becoming very attracted. But it explained in a more of a social way how the immigrants came, and there was the slums there, and then first the Irish came, then the Germans came, and then the Jewish Poles and from Ukraine, and the whole setting, and it became the biggest Jewish ghetto in the 50s. And by the time the 60s came, somehow it became a bit of a mecca for call it hippies, middle class young people who were frustrated due to the materialistic life of their families and the whole idea of the war and materialism. And although they come from good families and many were educated, they came thronged to the Lower East Side. Perfect setting for Prabhupada to ignite or to plant seeds of Krishna Bhakti. You think, it's all by chance. Krishna is miraculously working. Even when he went to San Francisco, same kind of sociological not that we want to study how things have evolved and developed, but Krishna is making arrangements for all of us by sending Prabhupada to give us guidance, provide a temple where we can all live together, get up for Mangal Arati, right? We all get up for Mangal Arati. 3 o'clock, 3:30 comes. I think, it's too tired. No, it's okay. I have to get up and go see the deities. Not have to, but this is a discipline that you become excited that a little bit of energy I have, I should use for assisting Prabhupada in Prabhupada's mission. There are so many books to read, but think about it. If you read Krishna book, 90 chapters is quite a big book. Read the Srimad Bhagavatam, 12 cantos, 60 big books. Takes a while. Chaitanya Charitamrita, another 17 books. Then Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. Go through the whole series, read it out loud with attention, then do it again, and do it again. Because what? Lord Brahmā studied the Vedas 3 times, so we have to follow in our original Guru's footsteps. We also need to study. But what I'm saying is that curiosity killed the cat. It's an expression, Americans say, curiosity killed the cat. So, but there's so many. We're not discouraging studying the Goswami's books. They should be studied. But I feel satisfied that Srila Prabhupada, taking the essence from all the Goswamis and very meticulously and carefully putting in each and every purport for our understanding, so we have a proper understanding. so we don't go and join the Gopi Bhava club or end up living somewhere thinking ourselves very elevated and exalted, and that we don't need to be around these neophyte, beginners of devotional life. Devotional life is deep, very, very deep. Srila Prabhupada was experiencing the highest ecstasies. But he spoke the ABCs for us. He spoke the basic, simple approach to Krishna consciousness, and it's based on faith and also chastity too, because one who's chaste, he very carefully appreciates with gratitude what Prabhupada has given us. And he's given us a full lifetime of things that we should be doing. And it's all centered around chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Mangal Artik is chanting the name of Krishna. The Guru Puja is chanting the name of Krishna. Prabhupada, he's directing us, guiding us, so that we can also have a life, a real life. Because we may be disturbed by the mind and the senses. Like if you go to a doctor and you're suffering from an incurable disease, very painful, and you're really thinking in a fearful way that I want to take this doctor's advice, and the medicine is proven to work. So to be neglectful is irresponsible. And what's the result of neglecting the order of the Guru? That we're forced in the cycle of samsara, birth and death. Because once you leave this body, whether you become a dog or a god, mostly becoming dogs and hogs, this is due to our mentality, our activities. And we think, well, I did a little bit of chanting, I'll be freed. Better to follow very carefully the doctor's advice and take the medicine of Harinam, of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. This is the whole remedy. Hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, remembering Krishna, serving the spiritual master in the form of cleansing the temple, dressing the deities, serving prasadam. Yesterday, 33,000 bowls of Khichdi prasadam. Nila Madhava ki jai. This is Prabhupada said, yes, this prasad distribution should continue. Book distribution should continue, because these books will be the guiding light for Kali Yuga. It's not based, oh, I know Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhupada said many things. In his letters, he may be speaking personally according to time, place, and circumstances. Unless we know the full spectrum of the... He said, read my books. Everything I put in my books. But not impersonally, okay, I'm going to lock myself away from everybody else. No more hassles, no more horns, no more people bothering me. I'm going to just study. I'm going to learn the whole Gita, every single verse. Prabhupada wanted that we study the books. Prabhupada wanted that we learn very meticulously the details. But it all comes from mercy, from the Guru. By pleasing Prabhupada and by pleasing Krishna, Krishna will reveal. The story in Ranganath Temple, South India, that illiterate Brahmana, he was trying to read Bhagavad Gita and his friends were making fun because he was illiterate, he couldn't read. But his Guru said, every day you study Bhagavad Gita. So he'd be paging and seeing Krishna in the chariot with Arjuna. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, Brahmana, I see that sometimes you're crying, why is that? He goes, when I think of Krishna becoming like Parthasarathi, serving his devotee, it makes me so happy. He says, you're the real devotee, because the essence of the Gita is to learn to love Krishna, to serve Krishna. We could maybe, chant many, many shlokas, or, have many awards and titles in our office or whatever it is. But ultimately, the simplicity of serving and loving Krishna will awaken our love in Krishna's compassion to us. Just like Arjuna was a warrior. Although he knew everything, he's Krishna's intimate friend, he didn't have to ask all these questions, but he asked all the questions, what is the guru, what is a devotee, what are his symptoms, please show me your universal form, how are people conditioned in this world. And then at the very, very end, 18th chapter, we read the Gita, Arjuna said, by your mercy now I've awakened my understanding, I'm fully surrendered, I'm going to carry out your order. And Krishna's very happy. If we can carry out Krishna's order through the direction of Srila Prabhupada and his followers, because we all work in a way. Prabhupada envisioned International Society for Krishna Consciousness even during the League of Devotees in Jhansi back in the 50s when he was trying to start. And on 2nd Avenue, one lawyer wanted to help Mr. Greenberg? Nice Jewish lawyer. Anyway, he came in and he said to the lawyer that now you can address the assembled devotees. There were a few, they were not really dedicated. No one was really fully surrendered. And so they took signatures for the first trustees for the first year, second year, third year to establish the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And people were bewildered. What is it? We have one little storefront on 2nd Avenue on the Lower East Side. But as one astrologer or one person that met Prabhupada said there are temples, there are devotees, there's books, but only time is separating us. And even astrologically, it was said that Prabhupada would cross the ocean and that he would establish 108 centers and bring people to Krishna consciousness. So devotees were so happy to understand astrologically and factually it happened, and how Prabhupada, despite all difficulties, despite all challenges, some of our challenges might be difficult, but crossing the ocean, heart attacks, and no one's interested in Krishna consciousness. Everyone is bewildered by Maya. Then Prabhupada continued simply having faith in Krishna, having faith in the holy name and Guru. And somehow we're here today. It's still people are in Maya, so many people in Maya. Some of us, we're also still trying to struggle to get out of the bodily concept, being servant of the mind, servant of the senses. But the sadhu sangha, sarva shastra koi, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. Stay in the association of devotees. We may think that sadhus are not sadhus, but if one is chanting the holy name, trying to serve Prabhupada and his mission, then despite whatever shortcomings, they're rightly situated, and very quickly Krishna will free them and deliver them from the cycle of birth and death. So we have 3 or 4 minutes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. There's an eager hand up in the back there. You have the microphone? Mataji's there asking. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan.
Thank you very much for such inspiring class. It was important to hear that devotees also work hard, but the goal is different. And I have one question, maybe doubt, and I wanted to ask you to help me with it. Like we say that devotional service is anyabhilashita shunyam. And in the same time, in India, I often see that we emphasize very much the names of devotees who perform some service or give some donations, and how this contradiction can be resolved. Thank you.
Good question. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat jahoshi dadasi yat yatapasyasi konte yat tad kuru shwadmad arpanam. Whatever work you perform, and Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that if you can't do this, then just offer the fruits of your labor. If you can't fully surrender, you do a little something. So somehow devotees are feeling motivated and or to assist them in Krishna consciousness, like when someone gives big donation or any kind of donation, we announce it for the deities because that's what we do. And it inspires others that, yes, maybe I should also, start giving the fruits of my labor, but for recognition. It's not pure devotional service because obviously we don't want to be recognized and or glorified. Prabhupada, it was never about Prabhupada or any of great acharyas, and nor are we, promoting that mood. But at the same time, if sometimes even on book distribution, there was a controversy, especially in the, what years are we? In the early 70s and mid 70s, that devotees were not, people were saying, why, who is this bald guy with the bed sheets? They couldn't get beyond the external appearance of the devotee, so they wouldn't get a book. Whereas sometimes the devotees dressed in like a normal clothing, and book distribution was happening in Prabhupada. Okay, so you may say, well, that's not so transcendental. We should try to be very, pure and transcendental. Our intention is to glorify the person's efforts. Now, after being inspired to contribute and or participate in book distribution or some way serving, because there's a little bit of recognition, oh, look at the name is there, oh, I feel so good. That desire gets cleansed, just like Dhruva Mahārāja. He wanted the whole universe. He wanted a better universe than Lord Brahmā. You think, how is that possible? But then at the end he said, I don't want any of that. I was looking for broken glass, but I found the best gem, best jewel. So this is our idea, that we want to give people prasadam or, somehow entice them to take up devotional service, because by the process of devotional service, they will get purified and cleansed and eventually want to fully surrender. It may be almost like a little child won't take his medicine, and you maybe put it inside the candy, give the little candy, but he eats the medicine and the candy. Okay, it may not have been as direct. But it's a very good point. We should not be motivated for glorification, distinction, but somehow or other we need to encourage devotees to come forward. Tat. Yes, Tat. Om Tat Sat. Old Prabhupada disciple. Thank you.
You mentioned the Sudama Brahman, and Krishna. There's a backstory which Bhakti Charuswami in Ujjain, this pastime happened in Ujjain, Sudama Brahma and Krishna. And Bhakti Charuswami used, when he took charge of Ujjain, ISKCON center there, he published a magazine called ISKCON Ujjain, and he published this backstory about Sudama Brahma and Krishna. So it's not so well known, not so many devotees have heard it, so I'll tell it. When Krishna and Balaram were sent by their spiritual master to go collect wood.
Krishna and Sudama.
Yes.
You said Krishna and Balaram, but that's okay.
Yes, right, Krishna and Sudama.
Okay.
Then their guru's wife, Sandipani Muni's wife, said, oh, you boys are going to the forest, so I'll give you some snacks to eat in the forest. And she bundled up some crunchy, dry prasadam for them to eat. Then they got to the forest, and a big storm happened, and they took shelter in a tree because there was actually some flooding water. And then Sudama felt hungry, and he remembered, I have this snack. And he started, it was dark by that time. He started to eat this snack, and there was a sound like crunch, crunch, as he was chewing. And Krishna said to Sudama, he was sitting above Sudama in the tree. He couldn't see exactly. It was dark. He said, Sudama, what is that noise? And Sudama said, my teeth are chattering. because of the cold. And Sudama withheld Krishna's snack from him. He didn't give Krishna his share. And that's why he became a poor Brahmin.
Achha.
And then later, when he presented Krishna with a little bit of
Chipped rice.
Then he became very opulent. That's the story.
So we have great leelas, such interesting Bhagavatam. Krishna's leelas are so wonderful. Prabhupada's leela is so wonderful, and all the devotees are wonderful. That's why they made those little white balls called Simply Wonderfuls. So we all can become simply wonderful by chanting Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki.